On the FBI's top 10 most wanted list and on the run for over 20 years, this man is finally captured in the UK. I then discuss how insanely corrupt the mainstream media has become. After that, we talk Australia seizing $494 million worth of cocaine. Then I talk about the most heartwarming video you'll ever see this week, all here on the Bullet today, so let's do it. The mainstream news is so corrupt.
This is unbelievable.
This is wild.
No one is talking about this.
The shootings are just out of control right now.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
Meet Daniel San Diego, 46 years old, and was on the top 10 most wanted list by the FBI for bombing 2 office buildings in San Francisco in the late fall of 2003. Being an avid animal rights activist, per the FBI, Daniel allegedly exploded 2 bombs on the site of a biotechnology corporation in Emeryville, California, and then a month later exploded a nail bomb at a nutritional products corporation in Pleasanton, California. A few months later, Daniel was indicted on the 2 bombings, where he fled and has remained at large up until just last week, where he was finally arrested in Wales. Somebody is now getting a fat deposit to their bank account of $250,000 in reward money from the FBI as Daniel San Diego, who underwent the name change to Danny Webb since being on the run, managed to somehow make enough money to buy a house off the grid in Wales. It's been speculated that this large financial transaction indeed did lead to his capture. Daniel has been on the most wanted list since 2009, and although an extensive amount of property was destroyed during the bombings, no one was indeed killed. Daniel escaped right through the hands of the FBI back in 2003, as he was actually under 24-hour surveillance by the FBI after the bombings. Upon realizing he was being followed, most likely thinking he would soon be arrested, Daniel parked his car in downtown San Francisco, lost the tail that was on him, and simply walked away and never returned. He was the first animal rights activist to be added to the most wanted list and was profiled 5 times on John Walsh's TV show, America's Most Wanted. Just shortly before Thanksgiving, Daniel was captured in Manine in the northern Wales, where he appeared in a London court to face extradition. Daniel actually outlasted Osama bin Laden on the top 10 most wanted list, as bin Laden only lasted for a little bit more than a decade, and Daniel lasted a little bit longer than that. Now over to thumbs up and thumbs down. We head over to MSNBC now with a humongous thumbs down here. An illegal alien named Jose Ibarra was convicted last week in the murder of a 22-year-old American woman named Laken Riley. You probably heard about this case while she was jogging near her university. Drawing national attention, and upon his conviction, the morally corrupt mainstream media outlet MSNBC posted an article empathizing with the killer, entitled, "Laken Riley's Killer Never Stood a Chance." Basically implying that because he was an illegal immigrant charged with murdering an American citizen, that he wouldn't be treated fairly in the court system. The headline completely ignored the fact, though, that the 26-year-old illegal from Venezuela was identified by his own roommate to be the person throwing away a jacket into a dumpster that had Laken Riley's own hair in it, and the killer's DNA was under Laken Riley's fingernails. MSNBC did this as they have tried to downplay the severity of the crime, as they themselves are proponents of normalizing illegal immigration, which has obviously helped destroy the digital fortress that MSNBC once held. As you probably heard my intro, that the mainstream media is so corrupt, and this is exactly the reason why I say that. Thumbs up to Australia now.
Thumbs up, average Joes can play.
As Australian authorities have arrested 13 people in the country's largest ever cocaine bust. With a street value of $494 million, the 2.3-ton seizure was tracked to a fishing boat off of the coast of Queensland, which surprisingly had a motorcycle gang behind the entire operation. The boat, however, ended up unfortunately breaking down about 10 miles off the coast, prompting a police response, which is something straight out of a movie type of unlucky there. And believe it or not, Australia does indeed get its cocaine from South and Central America, as does the rest of the world pretty much. You'd think that over 10,000-mile journey to Australia would be too costly or risky to traffic cocaine, but with Australian cocaine usage increasing 63% among adults between 2016 and 2019 alone, per the National Library of Medicine, there's obviously a happening market for cocaine there. Now, a subject that has been widely taken a back seat in the overarching prioritization of topics across our media today is history, which is why I bring you a special segment just for this. So this day in history, let's do it.
Which specifies the unconditional surrender of Japan.
The president has been shot.
This day, 205 years ago, Illinois stamped its prestige as the 21st state of the United States with about 35,000 inhabitants. Agriculture was the largest draw for its citizens early on, as it did indeed have early struggles for American settlers looking to move more west. The soil and vegetation of vast treeless stretches of the prairie were quite different from the landscapes of the more dense forests of Tennessee and Kentucky, where people were moving from. Settlers began building farms and houses near more densely forested areas near the rivers, and a few tough farmers were able to plow through the tougher prairies, which led to discovering a soil that was far richer than originally expected, eventually leading and attracting more and more farmers and a period of expansion that wasn't initially expected. This obviously led to the ultimate demise, though, of the original inhabitants of the area, the Confederation of Algonquian-speaking Native American tribes, which can date back over 7,000 years of inhabiting Illinois prior to European and American settlement. Now, this negative world we live in, it's time to bring some good news here to warm us up a bit with one of the best videos you'll hear about today, so here we go. One of the best videos you'll see this week, as 1-year-old Liam Frederick of New York had abnormal scans in utero and was born early. His pediatrician and care team recommended a slew of tests following his 3-week NICU stay. One of those was an optometrist appointment, revealing that best case scenario was that he would be very farsighted and would need glasses right away. Liam tried on his very first pair of glasses, which, if you're watching the video, brought an entirely new spectacle to Liam's personality now, as his mother says she's never seen her son smile so much now. Now, your daily news podcast, The Bullock, is out Tuesday through Thursday at 5 p.m. I will be back here tomorrow evening with another Bullock for your world news stories, and I will see you then.
News and factual material are deeply researched to confirming the validity of multiple sources by the broader media landscape across the global sector and the digital world. All statements are a combination of primary and secondary research reports geared towards providing the only news show in video and podcast form that provides a clear understanding of important world issues that are being left out by the completely biased and politically driven global media machine. Thank you for listening.